lost thoughts lead you astray. Then I cry, then I feel pain. Why do I suffer so much? I would love to feel your touch. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Save me before I pass out. Save me before I pass out. Before I pass out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday night And you know what that means? My name's Andy Owen, and this is Moose Racing League. This is Tier 2, of course, and tonight it is round number 4 of this 12-round Season 14 Championship. And Tier 2 tonight, they stay stateside after last week's race at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. We head down the Panhandle to the very bottom of the Panhandle, in fact, to Miami for the Miami Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to this one. We've had some great racing already here at MRL tonight on this Sunday night. With a little bit of rain, it has to be said, in the Tier 3 race, where Edge more than edged out the competition to finish 13 seconds plus ahead in torrential rain. And it'll be interesting to see how we get on tonight. A whole host of different things we've got to go through. Of course, we'll have a look at the remaining races in the calendar shortly. The Constructors' title standings here in Tier 2. And, of course, the Driver standings. I'm just waiting to get a full list of those who are and are not participating in tonight's race to see if our championship leader, Freddie Rozelle, will make the grid. Currently, we have 16 drivers in, and Freddie, a reserve, of course, for so much of this season so far, topping the standings, is not in the lobby. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on, and will we get the championship leader in, or will it give some of the other guys an opportunity to catch up over the course of this race? Let's take a look then at the remainder of this season 14 calendar. Canada, Austria, and Austin in the books. Miami tonight, and then of course we are running parallel with the IRL F1 calendar. It's Spa-Francorchamps, the Belgian Grand Prix, next week, July 27th. We then shift over to Hungary, Monaco without walls, it has been dubbed before by others. Then we come back across the Atlantic for a couple of races in Mexico, round number 7. And round number 8 will be fulfilling the full trio of US Grand Prix by visiting Vegas, where our drivers will no doubt gamble it all to try and win that race. More casino themes then as we nip back over to Europe for Monaco at round number 9. Round number 10, it'll be Italy around Monza before we head to China, to Shanghai for round number 11 for our penultimate round. And then we finalise season 14 on the 14th of September with our final race around Netherlands. Will the championship be decided by then? Who knows? Plenty of weeks left to go then. Good evening to Newbie. Good evening, Rich Sebi. Good evening, Rage Quit. That's me. Good evening to me too. And of course, Mr. Titan first in again. Has a reserve ever won the championship in MRL? Asked Rich Sebi. I believe so, Rich. I believe so. Maybe Angry Shadow may well have been a reserve. What's unusual is if somebody reserves all the way through. Normally, if there's a reserve, a driver will drop out, and therefore, if somebody's leading the championship, they'll get picked up by another team. So generally, a driver will get picked up. 17 drivers in the lobby right now. I can see over to my right-hand side. Let's take a quick look at some of the standings then. Constructors, I'll tell you what, let's do drivers' standings and constructors' standings, if I can say it, side by side. As we said, Freddie Rozelle leading the way in that drivers' championship with Dreams, a mere 16 points adrift. Then J-Jo on 28 tied with Happy Like Pies, 28 points for him. Alex Carew in the Haas, 25 points. Then it's 21 points for Gwenfro, 20 for Rich Sebi. Daimi on 19. Matteo, after a good result in Austin, in second place there, 18 points for him. Gamer, 15 points, a consistent point scorer, even though he is getting better. Look, 2, 3, and then 10. City of R10. And then we've got 3 reserves. Package, Jays, and Edge on 7, 5, and 5. D-Mog on 4. Captain Redbeard, our lobby host. Thank you to you. 4 for you. Bum on 3. 2 for Gabo. Avira, 1 for him. And Zeech reserving 1 point as well. In the constructors' standings, obviously you can see that the lead is held by Haas. So 74 points for Haas, 59 for Ferrari, 47 for Aston Martin, 37 for Kick. The guys languishing down in the bottom. It's 20 points for Williams, 20 points for Alpine, but 7 points for McLaren and only 6 for the Red Bull. So they'll be looking to try and make a massive improvement over the course of this weekend. We are moments away, by the way. So because we're moments away from our short qualifying session here at Moose Racing League, of course, let's just take a quick look at this track then. So 5.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles, and 19 turns. An interesting sector one to catch you off guard as we navigate our way around the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium. Detection Zone 1 and DRS Zone down to yet another interesting section, which is the underpass, of course. Turns 11 through 16, through Stadium, through some very tight turns where you can certainly invalidate on a qualification lap. And then one of the longest straights in Formula One from that turn 16 all the way down to turn number 17 before we go through 18 and 19 and over that start-finish line. A couple of DRS zones here. Are we going to see? Sorry, beg your pardon. 3 DRS zones. I'd forgotten about the short DRS zone over that start-finish line. Let's just see then if the capture card has indeed worked. Of course it has. How could we ever doubt this? How could we ever doubt it? We are in. We've got, how many drivers have we got in then tonight? Let's have a quick look. I think it's 18 drivers in at this present moment in time. Yeah, 18 in. So we've got Race Boy. He is, I think he's standing in for J-Joe tonight in that V-Carb. D-Master in the Red Bull with the McLaren of Gabop. As we said, McLaren and Red Bull both need to make something happen. Freddie Rozelle has made the grid. So the championship leader tonight in an Aston Martin is in. Edge, after his wonderful performance for Williams in tier number 3, he's up into reserve for the Williams team. We've got the Haas of Dreams, Missed 11 in the Alpine, Alex Carew in the Haas as well, with Matteo after his great result last week in the Ferrari, with Ardell in that McLaren. City of R fast approaching, by the way, 100 races here in Moose Racing League. Tonight is his 95th race. Half in the Mercedes with Gwenfro in the Kick Sauber. I'm a bum in the second V-Carb. Captain Redbeard in the Mercedes. Rich Sebi in the Alpine. Gamer, another one of our drivers who's rapidly approaching 100. This is Gamer's 97th race with Moose Racing League tonight. So he's not too far away. And then we've got, obviously, Dimey in that Aston Martin, the second Aston Martin. Let's get some telemetry and some maps on who is the lead car at the minute. We are on the lead car, in fact. It's GMP Dimey in the Aston Martin. Looks like he's going to be the first of our drivers tonight to claim a lap. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, throughout the course of this evening, if you would like me to give you a hot lap on board with any of the drivers throughout qualification, throughout the race, all you've got to do is ask, and I'll do my very best to give you what you want. I mean, I know what you want. You want a good race, right? You want a good race and you want your team to win or your driver to win. Let me know in chat, by the way, who are you rooting for tonight? Which is the driver that you're rooting for in this Tier 2 contest at Miami? Round number 4, don't forget. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. And if you're brand spanking new here for the very first time, please hit that subscribe button. It is free. Everything else that's free as well. We are going to jump on board then with Dimey, the first hot lap of the evening. We are, I promise. I pressed the wrong button for a second there. Apologies. Into turn 1 he goes. This is a ropey little section here. You really can lose a little bit of traction through that back end. But it looks like we've got ourselves through. 63% battery already. Quick into this turn right. A little bit of S's action early on this lap. And a real funny off-kilter turn here. Slow left-hander. And then it's full throttle. We've got DRS zone fast approaching. It's not a straight zone. We do go right and left. And there it is, wing wide open, of course, on the Aston Martin. Down towards stadium section. You see the stadium up in the distance there on the right-hand side. And as we get down to this hard braking zone, we'll be looking for some inside curb going around the slow, almost hairpin here. But now we've got the underpass. Tricky corners, but well navigated by the Aston Martin man. Does well. Little clip in the on the curb on the inside. And now it's that long run all the way down towards the final couple of turns then. 16 navigated, 17 wing wide open. And it'll be a hard braking zone. On the brakes early, tiny little lockup, but nicely done. Catches a little bit of curb on the entry and on the exit, of course, and plenty of curb here as well, no doubt. as he goes over the line, sets a 1:27.3. That's the first lap on the table. We're going to have another one through in a minute. It's Rich Sebi with a 1:26.6. Fast lap from Rich Sebi all the time then. Race Boy now. Let's see what Race Boy's got to offer then. He's reserving in tonight. Seems to take that quite nicely. A little bit, taking a few more risks, I think, in those early corners. Haas comeback. Haas comeback starts here. Navigating his way nicely through the S's before this hard braking zone. Oh, just about manages to keep it valid there. Has to be a little bit more tentative on that throttle. And now there'll be no tentativeness now, though. It'll be full throttle all the way down, burning some battery, trying to get himself through. Where is that next detection zone? Where is it? Into stadium. Nicely done again. This feels like a good lap. 2 Alpines out in front at the moment, though. Front row lockout for the 2 Alpines. But here is VCAB. A little bit out of shape there, coming through the underpass. Here's Race Boy. Can he get himself back in? That'll be a couple of tenths lost. So Daimi, who we're on board with first, 27.3, the slowest of our finishers. Don't worry about half. That's just a banker for him. I'm a bum, 26.999. No need of an emergency. 4,000s between Mist and Ardell in second and third. What can Race Boy do? Is he going to be able to get... This looks like a good time. As Matteo, 1:25.9. He sets the pace there. This does look like a good time. It is a 27.1, actually. So a little bit of lost time there in that final sector for Race Boy. But 5 and 6, the 2 V-Carbs flying in formation. Let's see who else we've got out. Gabop, he's just about to start his lap as well. So let's, McLaren, need some points to McLaren. Actually, Gabop isn't just starting his lap, he's just put it in P2. He's joined the front row with the Ferrari of Matteo, so that looks good for him. But Freddie Rozelle, championship leader, a 1:25.937, 500s quicker. Gamer, the man fast approaching 100 races, 1:26.2 for him. Let's see if we can find some of these guys about to cross the line. Gwenfro's just starting his lap as a few more of our guys put laps down. Dreams is out, by the way. I don't know whether Dreams is suffering from a penalty or whether he's actually crashed his car. Maybe I could have some news from the paddock. Seen Bankers in tier 2. Almost beat my PR. Senna, I'm telling you, that is absolutely it, my friend. That's the way life goes. Gwenfro then. Down through sector 2 he goes. Went wide open on that kick Sauber. Currently sat P17 because there's no time set, of course. Down towards the slow left-hander in stadium before the slow right-hander. Farming some battery, of course, here. He's actually got 100% battery, so I'm guessing he's not actually on a hot lap. He's clearly not on a hot lap because he's just cut that corner. So maybe he has other things to contend with. Sam, good evening. Hope you're all right. Let's try and find somebody who is on a lap then. DMOG. Here he is. D-Master. I seem to be lacking some sector markers on my track map there. That'll be interesting for me to try and navigate on the way through. Slows right down. It's not going to be particularly quick time, this one, from D-Mog. And he's actually just done a couple of out laps, so he's going again, just to make he's got some heat in these tyres. We'll sort of stay on board with him. Into turn 1 he goes. Plenty of curb on the inside, no doubt. A little smidgen of curb, but gets the car rotated quite nicely there. You don't really want to hit too much curb there in that twisty-turny section in sector number 1. It can send you spinning, lose the back end. But you could do a little bit more here. That is a bit of a nightmare. Now, it's still valid, is this lap from D-Mug. So I'm assuming he's going to keep going. He is going to keep going. He's going to burn some battery then. Just a small amount, though. Still has it on hot lap. 2.1 seconds quicker through sector number 1 for him. Actually showing us a purple sector 1. Maybe that's due to the fact that he didn't drive on the track all the way through. Here he comes down to stadium tight left-hander, followed by that real tight, long, never-ending right-hander, where you can take lots of curb. You'll notice it's off camber all the way around this little section here, meaning that traction has a, or should I say throttle, has a negative effect of pushing you wider as opposed to keeping you in the track if you've got an on-camber corner, of course. Now, on the way up we go towards turn number 17. Up to 210 miles an hour. A lot quicker. Doesn't quite get it turned in as much as he'd like there, I don't think, on turn number 17. And it's actually going to dive into the pits. So, 8 minutes, 50 seconds left. Here comes Dimey to have another go then. He's 3.5 tenths up almost. So as it stands, he would get himself up a couple of positions. But we did see him have a couple of mistakes there in sector number 3 later on. Let's see if he can pull out a couple more tenths. Won't take much to get him in the top 10 here. Lots of tight drivers between City of R in 8th and I'm a bum in 11th. Less than a tenth between those guys. 700ths in fact. Are we going to see the Aston Martin leap up a few places? Looks like we will. Yes, we do. Up to P5. Good lap that from Dimey. 26.5. Leaping up above the kick Sauber of Gwenfro. I don't know what you're saying, Minico. Ignored the curb. I think he just lost it, to be honest. If you're talking about D-Mog, that is. Anyway, let's get ourselves out of Dimey's wheelhouse. Go and find a car that's just about to cross the line. We've got one coming out of the pits. Redbeard's invalidated. Race Boy. He is over a tenth up on his time. Would be a 127 flat. He's precisely 127 up. 176 up, sorry to say. Get a good feel for it once he's swung through that underpass and we get that next sector split. Here we go. He's lost a little bit of time. There's a McLaren behind him, though, that's going to get a lovely tow all the way down here. Is that Ardell? Ardell and Gabop are actually on that straight with him, so be interesting to see which one it is. Oh, loses a little bit at the back end there, does Race Boy. He might find himself coming into the pits. Lost a little bit of time. Or is he going to waste for the line? Anyway, he is. And does improve by a little over a tenth. Is that Ardell next over the line? It wasn't Ardell. It was somebody else. But there goes Ardell. Half a hundredth. Sorry, 500ths. Half a tenth up. On his time, we do have our leaders out, though. Here goes Matteo. Where's Freddie Rizal? Freddie Rizal's invalidated. So, still plenty of time left, don't forget, in this short quali session. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Moose Racing League, MRL. It's Sunday night. This is tier number 2 at Miami. Let's get on board and see how Matteo handles these curbs. One of the quickest drivers last week, finishing P2 at Kota. And that seems to be quite a nice exit out of there into sector number 2. So 120 up. So over a tenth up. DRS employed. A little bit of overtake now. So flicking that on and off. Into stadium he goes. Yeah, a little bit of curb. Then plenty of curb here, no doubt. Beautifully taken through that chicane under the overpass. And here we go, the long race. Is he going to try and pick up a little toe from that car on the left-hand side? He's not. He's going to stay off to the right-hand side. It's a McLaren. So as it stands, Matteo would oust Freddie from a provisional pole position. And he does so. A 125.696, 2.5 tenths quicker than Freddie in that Aston Martin. He's in a pit. Here comes Gamer. Gamer's next. Currently sat on that second row. What's that split going to be for sector number 2? Is he up? He is less than a tenth up, though, and he's pulled out of that lap. He's backed out of that lap already. So lack of fuel. He's going to get himself back in. Not to his liking. There's nobody else on a lap. So we've got a slight lull in proceedings here then. Gamer will dive back into the pit lane. Gabop Gabop in the Mercedes has managed to get himself up to 5th. He's on his next outlap. That'll be his final run then the next time around. Is there anybody in chat that wants to see a specific driver on their outlap? I'm more than happy to jump on and do an outlap with anybody you want. For the time being, it's going to be Gabop, who's the next car. Is he the next car to cross the line, though? Or is it going to be... it's I'm a Bum. Let's jump on with I'm a Bum. Let's see what he can do. There, so I think it might have been his teammate. So that manages to keep that valid. Might have lost a 10th there. Didn't quite turn in as he would have liked to get onto this DRS zone. There it is. The wing will be wide open on this Racing Bull, the V-Carb, the sugar-free Red Bull, call it what you want. Nicely into stadium. Third gear all the way around there. Is he going to boost up to 4th? He is. Back down to 3rd again to work his way through the chicane. Has to lift ever so slightly. See, there's a marked difference there from how Matteo took that as to how I'm a Bum took it. And he's burnt through his battery very, very quickly here. Have a little bit of battery left to burn. It is on reduced harvesting, but no, he is on overtake mode. Let's have a look. Can he get a better position? He can, up to P11. That may well be his last run. Right, where was Gabop then? How's Gabop doing? Gabop crosses the line actually up into P4 now. Alex Carew, who raced real well last week. Mistake from him, though, now. He's in warm-up mode. Race Boy starting his final run. Looks like he's going to get a slight tow here. So that car is quite far away to the distance, but it will still be punching a hole through this air, of course. Our drivers alert. Our drivers alert. Somebody's lost an end plate. Yeah, Alex got held up there by Gabop. Gabop was not on a lap, by the way, ladies and gents. So Alex Carew will have to go again. More track space in front of him now. Aston Martin out in front. The traffic's going to be problematic here. Let's just have a quick look at Freddie Rizal. Where's Freddie? Freddie's just starting his lap. The start of, or coming towards the end now of sector number 1. Full on the throttle coming out of there. A 10th and a bit up, so needs a little bit more. Does Freddie? Matteo will go through after him as well. D-Mog, by the way, managed to get himself up into P3. Only got 2 drivers in the 25s, Freddie and Matteo. D-Mog gets himself out of the way. Well done, sir. Gamer not out of this yet either. Although will have to find himself a good 7 or 8 tenths in total. Or seems to be slower out of there. That may well have cost him. He is 3 tenths to the good, though. That would get him into the 125s in his best D-Mod. Jump on with Freddie. Freddie almost at the line. A little bit of mistake there. Only 1/10 better off there, Freddie. Through 2 sectors. He's going to have to chase it down to the line. Then we'll take a look at Matteo. Will Matteo improve? Freddie Rozelle does improve by 16 thousandths of a second. What can Freddie do? What can Matteo do to respond? He's going to get a little toe up here. He'll need it because he was 300th down on his time. He needs to find 4 or 500ths in this final sector through the final 2 or 3 turns here at Miami to try and get himself back on pole position. Can he do it? Is he going to be able to get it a little bit out of shape? And he will. He finds himself 900ths to best Matteo best Freddie. Gamer up into P3. Half P4. City of R get himself to P5. Demog relegated down to P6, but he'll be happy with that qualification session. Rich Sebi, 7th for him. Gabot P8. 9th is Daimi. Captain Redbeard in 10th. 11th after he was hindered. Alex Carew Gwenfro in 12th. 13th is Amber Bum with Ardell in 14th. Mist in 15th. 16th is Raceboy. Edge in 17th. And then a couple of our other guys soon to follow through. What do you think of that qualification session then, guys? That was pretty competitive between that top 2. And a few of the other guys joined in as well. With Gamer certainly getting himself into the 25s. So Matteo in the Ferrari on pole position. Joining him on the front row is Freddie Rozelle in the Aston Martin. Kick Sauber's Gamer and Harv in the Mercedes on the second row with Williams, City of R and D-Master OG. Williams and Rebel on that third row. 7th and 8th then it's Rich Sebi in the Alpine with the McLaren of Gabop. And then 9th and 5th row it's Daimi in the Aston Martin with the Mercedes of Captain Redbeard. That is your top 5 rows, ladies and gentlemen. No time set by the 3 bottom drivers. I made a huge mistake in Sector 1. I should have been 4th, says Sebi. Yeah, well, once you've made a mistake in Sector 1, Sebi, it's a big ask to try and get it back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to draw your attention, please, to the sky. We do appear to have a little bit of cloud cover here in Miami. Obviously, being the peninsula down towards the south side in that Caribbean Sea, I would say the Gulf of Mexico, I would suggest that perhaps we might have ourselves some interesting weather conditions throughout the course of this race. Looks set fine at the moment, not a sprinkle of rain in the air, but certainly a cloud covering that may well mean we get some damp conditions later on. We'll probably see from the choice of tyres how soon that will be. If the majority of this field decide to go on the medium tyre, maybe we'll see some rain in that first 10 to 15 laps. Hard tyre goes on, maybe it's rain right at the very end of the race. Soft tyre goes on, who knows what's happening, because the soft tyre lasts about 45 seconds, and we are more than likely going to see rain imminently, which I think we saw. Did we see that last week or the week before on one of the races that we had? It rained throughout the course of the formation lap. Who's your money on tonight then, ladies and gentlemen? Pretty tough to call between Matteo and Freddie Rozelle in qualification, but Game has managed to get himself up, and with them, we do have ourselves a formation lap this evening, so that'll be interesting. So we'll just run through the drivers again. Matteo, Freddie Rozelle, Gamer in that bright green coloured Kick Sauber with Harv in the Mercedes, City of R in P5 in the Williams with the Red Bull of D-Master OG in P6. 7th is the Alpine of Sebi with Gabop in P8. P9, we'll wait for him to come around the corner. There he is, the lean green fighting machine of the Aston Martin is Daimi with Captain Redbeard in the second of our Mercedes tonight. Then it's a Haas, it's Alex Carew. Of course, Haas leading the Constructors' Championship in Tier 2. Not the best of qualification sessions for them, though. Alex Carew, the top of their 2 drivers, in P11. Gwenfro then in P12. One of our former champions here. 7 former champions in Tier number 2. Amber Bum in the V-Carb. He is in P13. With RPL Ardell in the McLaren in P14. Second of the Alpines is Mist. He's currently sat in P15 with Raceboy reserving in tonight. Also in one of the V-Carbs. He's P16. Edge reserving up from Tier 3. Phenomenal night for him so far. He is in P17. With Dreams in P18 in the Haas. And it's actually Mr. Lethal Pete. In the Ferrari, Pete's come through. He's reserving up in Tier number 2. I believe Pete is a Tier 3 driver, so only reserving up 1 tier. And that is your lot for tonight. So it's an enormous sandwich made up by 2 pieces of Ferrari bread and all the other collective little meats inside. It's like one of those special subs you get from your favourite sub shop with a whole cacophony of different meats and cheeses in between 2 big chunky slices of bread. That being the red bread of the Scuderia Ferrari. Massive Ferrari sandwich, Mr. Titan. Of course, let's go Haas, says Titan. Rah. Okay, who shall we jump on board with for the start then? Missed a mistake from him in terms of qualification, in terms of pulling up to that line. And we are ready to rock and roll. The light sequence begins here in Miami for round number 4 of this, the Tier 2 MRL Championship, and it's showtime! And it's a good start from the Aston Martin of Freddie Rizal up alongside the Ferrari of Matteo. Already plenty of other things happening backwards and forwards, up and down the grid, but it's Matteo who leads us away then through sector number 1, closely followed by Freddie Rizal and Gamer. Gabot not too far behind either. Then there is a small gap formed already, 1.9 seconds back to D-Master OG in the Red Bull and Sebi in the Alpine. Gwenfro managed to get himself up into P7. Great start from him. Let's just check real quick on things like strategy. Lots of drivers on that medium tire. Does that mean the rain comes within the first 10 to 15 laps? Only 2 drivers on the hards. It's Alex Carew and D-Master OG on the hard compound tire. Everybody else on the medium compound tire then. Let's just take a quick look at places gained and lost. Captain Redbeard down 7 places. Harv down 8. 4 down for City of R. Big losers so far in this Grand Prix. 4 down for Divey. 3 down for Alex Carew. 2 down for Edge. The big gainers so far. It's Ardell up 6 positions. Gwenfro up 5. 6 positions also for Raceboy up in P10 in that V-carb. The top 3 remain as the top 3. What are we going to see here, though? We've got Rich Sebi looking to make a move, trying to outbreak the Red Bull. They're going side by side through this. The final couple of turns, the wall gets close real quick here. Who's going to come out best as they go side by side? A little bit of wheel touching, perhaps, between Alpine and Red Bull. And it looks like the Alpine might have the advantage going down into turn number 1. They're still battling it out here through Sector 1 as well. Look at this great racing contact between the 2, though, which forces Sebi off track. So D-Master OG and Sebi come together then through Sector 1 here on lap number 2. They're still going at it. Hammer and Tom, great racing here between these 2. Are we going to see D-Master manage to keep hold of that position? Somebody will have DRS, and I don't quite know who it's going to be, actually. I don't know who crossed that timing line. The DRS before. Look at this behind, though. We've got Ardell, front row seat for him. And D-Master OG goes from 5th to 8th, down 1 straight. What racing this is between these guys here. Oh, contact! Contact, and that's Sebi round. So Gwenfro and Sebi get into it. Yellow flags wave in Sector 2, and it's a virtual safety car, is it? Looks like a virtual safety car. No full safety car out on track at the moment. Sebi all the way down in P18 now. Captain Redbeard looks like he's had damage on the opening 1 or 2 laps, and he's had to go in for a fresh wing on that Mercedes, and he will be at the back of this pack. Good Christ, that harsh, says Maud. A few of the guys going into the pit lane here. It's only a virtual safety car. Do we have a lot of cars with damage? Let's just take a quick check-in. Yeah, a new front wing. Is that a new front wing for City of R as well? Yeah, new front wing for City of R. New front wing for Rich Sebi, most definitely. Mr. Lethal Pete, therefore, jettisons himself up into P14. Rich, make sure you concentrate on the race, please, my friend. I know you're in the pits getting your stuff done, but try to refrain from typing. DRS enabled again then as that virtual safety car finishes racing. We are green, green, green. The top 3 still leading the way with Gabop, actually, with all the shenanigans that happen behind him, as Ardell takes a position from Gwenfro through with DRS. Gabop managing to just stick within 1.5, 1.6 seconds of that leading trio then. Mateo, Freddy Rizal and Gamer. Lap 3 of 29, drama already here. And weather to follow, I would imagine. Taking a look at the sky, doesn't look like it's getting much darker, but it may well be that the clouds gather, the rain begins to form, and we get ourselves a wet second half of this. The Miami Grand Prix at Moose Racing League. This is tier number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, after this race, we do have tier number 1 hosted by the one and only Punju. Again, around Miami, but it is the quick boys. It's the tier 1 boys. But let's not forget, we've got our tier 2 boys. They ain't too slow either. Certainly this leading trio definitely have shown potential to be moved up into tier 1 in the not too distant future. Gamer just beginning to lose a little bit of touch with this front 2, is he? Still 7 or 8 tenths off. Maybe a slightly more downforce on that kick Sauber then, as he's managed to close up throughout the twists and turns in sector 1. Now looks like he's going to lose a little bit of time as he heads down through that. Yeah, there you go. See, over 1 second back. Even with DRS, he's burning a heap of battery as well to try and get himself back in, as Mateo loses the lead of this race for the first time, legitimately for the first time after that first start. So Freddy takes the lead of the race. Gamer's got himself back in with that higher downforce, it would appear, throughout this twisty section at the end of sector 2, start of sector 3. And now it'll be the long race down the line. Gabop, 1.8 seconds off the back, and he's managed to get quite a long way out in front of Gwenfro. Gwenfro 7 seconds now. Gwenfro has the other McLaren for company, so there's a Kick Sauber McLaren battle for 3 and 4, and a Kick Sauber battle for 5 and 6 as well. They'll be joined by Raceboy, though, in P7 in that V-carb. And then a little bit of a gap back to Dimey, 1.4 seconds. He's on a bit of a tussle here with OTC Dreams, Harv, I'm a Bum, Mist, Edge, and Mr. Lethal Pete. Then the cars that have pitted. D-Master OGE, City of Art, Rich Sebi, Alex Karoon, Captain Redbeard. Is Freddy going to try and get himself done and dusted? What's the battery situation? Battery situation favours the Aston Martin man as it currently stands. Rich Sebi on fresh medium tyres, 1:29.3, fastest lap of the race so far. And Freddy unable to drop Mateo. Gamer again doing what he did before, getting himself back up towards contention throughout some of the more technical aspects of this track. Managed to get himself back up into DRS range and pull a little bit more time on that McLaren of Gabop, who's running a lonely race right now, 1.8 seconds behind that front 3. And a good 7.1 seconds ahead of the 5th place Gwenfro. Let's have a quick look down towards the lower reaches. Some of these guys who've pitted so far. What have we got down here then? Rich Sebi leading this trio. So Rich Sebi, City of R, and Alex Carew, all fighting for... I suppose technically Rich Sebi's trying to close that 3-second gap down to D-Master OG. D-Master OG, I suppose we could almost say technically is leading the race at the moment, as Gwenfro, Raceboy, and Dreams. What we got here, Ardell dropping like a stone, and he is off. He's gone off with Gwenfro. So safety car, full safety car. Don't overtake under safety car conditions, my friend. That looked like a little bit of frustration under the helmet of the McLaren. So are we going to see a little bit of frustration there as a whole host of cars dive into the pit lane? Lots of these cars, of course, on that medium tyre. There will be a need to replace some bodywork, some noses, some wings. Let's see what we get then. So first safety car of the night then, lap number 5, just starting lap number 6. That's where they'll pick up the safety car. They'll pick it up on lap number 6 of 29 here at Miami. What a start to the race. Interesting stuff there, chat. What are we saying then? From what we've seen so far, do we think this leading 6 will dive into the pit lane to stick those hard compound tyres on? Do we know if there's any rain? Have we got any weathermen in the chat that know what is happening? Any news from the paddock? If somebody who sat on the pit wall could just stick their hand out and see if the rain is yet beginning to fall. That would be great. This is a great angle, actually. You could see the off-camber element of the turns are here through Stadium. Makes it incredibly tricky when you're off-camber. Much easier to drive on-camber corners. You think on-camber corners, think Zandvoort, of course. All those turns there where the track almost, a 45 degree angle, whatever the angle is. Yeah, good recovery drive. You're right, Mr. Titan. Good recovery drive so far from Dreams and from Alex Carew. Let's just check on positions. 13 up for Pete, 13 up for Dreams. Are the leaders about to dive into the pits? Or are they going to continue into the pit lane? They siphon off. Gabop, by the way, does not. So Gabop, Lethal Pete, Race Boy, stick it out. Just check that tyre age. So it's actually Gabop and Lethal Pete who stayed out then. That may well nullify their ability to do well in this race. Given the fact they've obviously still got to come in. Although they've, this is lap number 7. They've done 6 laps on those medium tyres. Interesting to see how they perceive this to be then. Medium tyre compound maybe only lasts another 6 or 7 laps. Are they hanging on for wet weather? Does the safety car help them in their quest for that wet weather? Obviously slows the cars down. We're going to have to drive a certain speed behind that beautiful green Aston Martin safety car. No penalties yet. Should we take a quick look at the race director? Just to see if we've got many, plenty of collisions. Some track limits, just a few track limits. Race Boy, Edge, 2 for Edge. So 1 more for Edge, he'll pick up 3 seconds. Rich Sebi has got 1 warning, and everything else is collisions. Look at all the collisions on lap 1. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. We should see the end of the safety car though now. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on board with Race Boy. Race Boy in the V car. The net lead of this race, it has to be said. With the 2 cars in front of him having to pit yet. Can he get any heat into these tyres? The hard compound tyre I find very, very difficult to get heat into. The medium tyre compound obviously will be a lot easier to get the heat into. As he actually collides with the wall there. Are we going to see the pedal to the metal here? Yeah, there he goes then. So Gabop has stuck the pedal down. And I tell you what, Dimey is slow off the mark. He's been left sleeping over 1 second behind this leading trio already. We've only just got round turn number 1. Pete will come under intense amounts of pressure here from Race Boy. Managing to keep himself up with Gabop though. How's Pete going to navigate through here? Having to be very careful. It's a bold move, this. Bold move by Race Boy. Gets the job done, though, on Lethal Pete and then burns the battery. Dimey's managed to get himself back up. Obviously, no DRS. This is the first lap after safety car, so no DRS until we pass the start-finish line for the next time. Here goes Pete, though. Pete having a look on the inside, thinking better of it, though. So good decision that from Pete not to make a move down the inside at Stadium and cause himself potentially a couple of little issues. Loses a little bit of traction there coming through the underpass. And now the long line of cars, nose to tail from 1st to 10th, and then a little gap between Mateo. Mateo down in 11th, Freddie Rozelle down in 9th. They would not have appreciated that safety car when it came out because all the work that they'd done to get themselves a considerable gap out in front, really. Where's Gamer as well? Yeah, Gamer down in 14th. He's in a similar position. A little bit of a battle going on between Armour Bum and Gwenfro. They're side by side right now, coming through turns 18 and 19. A little bit of contact between the two. Gwenfro bumping Armour Bum, and he gets himself through. Is Armour Bum going to make another pass on the inside? No, thinks better of it this time around. Lap 9 of 29 we've just started then. Gabop in the McLaren out in front. And they've dropped Lethal Pete. So Gabop and Raceboy drop Lethal Pete. Lethal Pete, the champagne cork in this week's bottle. In the Ferrari, GMP Dimey, Alex Carew, City of Art Edge, Mist, Freddie Rosell, hot, Aston Martin, looking to get the job done on the Alpine of Mist, and does so. Lethal Pete's gone from third all the way down to sixth there with no DRS. He was just a sitting duck with all those cars that were so close behind. He's going to try and battle his way, try and maintain a little bit of contention here, but he's got eaten up all the while. And the champagne cork has been released. That's going to release JMP Dimey to chase down that leading duo. And Mr. Lethal Pete probably ruined the decision to come in and not change those tyres right now. He will have DRS here. I believe he'll have DRS. No, he's not got DRS again, Pete. He's going to lose at least one. He's got Matteo, his teammate, coming through as well. Is Pete going to dive into that pit lane? He is. Pete dives in. Gabop's going to stay out, though. And Gabop loses the lead of this race to Raceboy. Raceboy by name, Raceboy by nature. And he will not just get past Gabop, but begins to streak out in front. Older medium tyres not doing the job right now that those fresh hards are doing for Raceboy. Over a second, he's going to be out of DRS range. You would think, unless Gabop can find himself 3 or 4 tenths. No, that's it. Crosses the start of the DRS detection point. And we may well see some moves here. Wings will be wide open very shortly. And we might see an Aston Martin moving over to one side to take a position. It's a defensive line from the McLaren, but there's not a great deal he's going to be able to do about it, is there? A little bit of contact potentially between the two. Good defensive line, though, from Gabop. Is he going to be able to hold off the Aston Martin? I don't think he's... Oh, wall, though, for the Aston Martin. And subsequently, wall for Alex Carew in that Haas as well. 1.7 second gap between Dimey and Raceboy then. That gap will come down into about 1.4 seconds, I would think. And there it is, and we are going to see a move from Gabop on Dimey. Oh, late on the brakes, a couple of little shunts into turn number 17 from Alex Carew on Dimey. Nothing to be seen here, though. No damage. We do have an Aston Martin, Freddie Rosell, coming right at it. Here comes Freddie. Are we going to see Freddie make a move into turn number 1? We are. He is going to try and get the move done. He's going to push his way through on that corner. He's going to leave enough room. Get stuck on the curb, Alex Carew. And that's allowed Freddie Rosell to go through. Then Aston Martin flying in formation P3 and P4. Here on lap number 11 of 29. This is the Grand Prix. We talked about Edge needing one more warning to pick up 3 seconds. And there he is. He's the first of our drivers tonight to pick up that warning. Freddie Rosell will be looking to... work his way. Do we have some team orders here? Freddie Rosell does indeed go through on his teammate. Wings wide open on both cars, though. Over a second behind. The car in front, are they? No, not now, as Gabop actually loses DRS. Raceboy doing quite well out in front. Gabop will be looking to come into that pit lane. Rich Sebi still battling it out with his old foe, Gwenfro and D-Master OG. Look at this. Oh... interesting turn in there. And yeah, we have a Kick Sauber with a missing right end plate. We do have a missing right end plate on that Kick Sauber. Do we have any bodywork missing on these cars? No. Yes, we've already talked about that one. What about Dreams? Has Dreams got all the parts of his car that he needs? Yes, he has. I'm a Bum looks like he's got as well. Oh, a little bit of a late move is that on the inside. No, there goes Gwenfro. No front right end plate, and that's him off into the wilderness on the runoff area at turn number 17. Will dip into the pits to get that replaced. Yellow flags. Full safety car. Full safety car. My word. That is a full safety car, ladies and gentlemen. So that actually, as far as Gwenfro is concerned, that's actually real good for that to really happen right at the beginning of that 12th lap for him. He'll be able to get in, get fixed, get back out again, and hopefully catch up before the rest of these cars go through. Although he obviously he's going to have to sit in there for quite a while. Speeding under safety car conditions for Ardell. Disastrous for him. And he's DNF'd it. He's quit. He has quit the race under safety car conditions, Ardell, because of that drive-through penalty. That is a quitter. Right there, ladies and gents. McLaren's Ardell, the first car not to finish tonight's race. Well, we've got 23 of you, ladies and gentlemen, in watching this race so far. It's been a race full of drama and chaos in the first half thus far. And still drama and chaos going on as Edge and City of R, two slices of bread with a Matteo sandwich in the middle. Edge just drives into the back of that Ferrari. It will be another lap at least. Of course, the lead cars haven't picked up the safety car yet. You can see on the bottom right-hand side a small yellow dot near the number 1. In sector number 1 that stands for, and that's the safety car. And our drivers will drive round, and Race Boy is in the pits, followed by Gabot, followed by Freddie. Dimey, 10-second penalty for him. City of R, 10-lap-old hard tyres, continues. Edge with that 3-second penalty, he continues. Demog, Rich Sebi, Dreams, I'm a Bum. Race Boy will come out in P... Looks like he's going to come out in P7. He's going to be on fresh rubber, as is Gabot, Freddie Rizal, Matteo. Freddie Rizal and Matteo, of course. Matteo took pole position. Freddie Rizal joined him on the front row. Find themselves in the midfield. Not somewhere where you want to be on safety car restarts at Miami. Sector 1, as you saw actually from that the race director screenshot that we had a look at before, lots of collisions that happened on the first lap at the start of the race. The safety car restart is likely to be not much different, where people will be tussling for position, trying to gain lost places. Certainly, you've got Alex Carew on the soft tyre. Does that mean rain's on the way, ladies and gents? The sky doesn't seem to have got much darker. So we don't seem to have much darkness in the sky. Definitely no rain, I don't think. Jump on with Matteo. Yeah, no rain as such. You'd be able to see it on the black Ferrari halo. You'd be able to see that rain very, very evidently and clearly if there was some in the air. But a 10-second penalty for Dimey in that Aston Martin. He must be very frustrated to make that mistake into the pit lane. Are we going to see a late safety car call in here? Don't think we are. No, we're not. We'll probably do another lap. Yeah, we're going to do another lap. Sketchy, yeah. Absolutely sketchy. 8-lap-old hard tyres, though. Not the worst tyres on the grid at the minute, of course. You've got Demog probably on the worst tyres on the grid at the minute, depending on how far those... Oh, Alex Carew's in the pits, and he's taking those soft tyres off. He's going to throw the hard tyres on. So that was a mistake from the heart of Alex Carew as well. So, yeah, D-Master does have the worst tyres on the grid at the minute with 8-lap-old medium tyres. And then 11-lap-old hard tyres for City of R. He will definitely be wanting to do something. City of R's 95th race tonight, only 5 races away from the big 100. Here in Moose Racing League. But plenty of action to come. We are approaching the halfway point of this Miami Grand Prix. Around the streets of this wonderful city in South Florida. Are we going to see very similar to that Tier 3 race? Are we going to see a wet end? Will it remain dry? Just teasing us here in the commentary box. Oh, that was a strange move from City of R. Might have picked himself up a warning there, City of R. Did seem to have all 4 tyres on the wrong side of that white line momentarily coming through stadium. I'm City of R and my teammate's going to help me out here, I'm going to go early, early, early. Nobody's allowed to pass, of course, until that timing line. Let's jump on board with Sebi, actually. He's got the 3 cars out in front of him. Again, we talked about the tyres struggling to warm up. When is City of R going to get that throttle pressed fully? I would imagine it's around about now, but he is. He's still going slow, still weaving, still weaving. Now he goes, now he goes. Timing line will fast approach, and OCT Dreams is all over the back of Rich Sebi. Is he going to try to go on the outside here at turn number 1? Oh, we've managed to get D-Masters, managed to get in between the 2 Williams. A little bit of contact between Alpine and Williams there as well. Means OTC Dreams gets through. Freddie Rozelle on the way through as well, and I'm a bum. Are we going to see some action here? V-Carb, Raceboy getting racy and pacey on Rich Sebi. Trying to make a move down the inside. Gets the move done, does he? It'll all depend on the grip and traction as they come out down the racy line. But it will be Rich Sebi that bests actually the V-Carb of Raceboy and maintain that P5. Interesting to keep our eye on. A couple of places here, Pete. Lots of places exchanging a little bit further on down. And what a whole host of cars we've got here. Heading into Stadium. Aston Martin had dimed me with that 10-second penalty. He's got half the company. Half obviously drops a lot of places from the start of this race. And we'll check in with position changes shortly. Everybody's got the minimum number of pit stops out of the way, but it looks like a few of the guys will have to come in again as Gabop and Raceboy again exchanging places. Here comes the Ferrari of Matteo, is it? Yeah, Matteo. Matteo making a move at turn number 17. Is he going to get through 18th? Just behind Gabop. D-Master OG into the pit lane, is he? He's not into the pit lane. He's pointing completely the wrong way. And that is a disaster for the Red Bull. Will drop to the rear of this field as Cam Redford into the pits yet again in that Mercedes. Is he coming in for a fresh wing? Yeah, he's coming in for a fresh wing. So that's told us all we need to know about him. City of R and Edge. Williams out in front, 1 and 2. Chased down by the heart of OTC Dreams. Freddie Rozelle, championship leader, looking ominous in P4 with Rich Sebi in the Alpine not far behind him. Gabop, Matteo on the medium tyre, looking racy and pacey as well. Utilising a lot of that battery though here. Lap 16 of 29. He may well need to come back in for fresh rubber towards the end of this race. Looks like he might be trying to make a move around the outside, is he? Gets right up alongside Gabop. Is he going to be able to get on the inside on this tight right-hander all the way through Stadium? He is. But Gabop still holds an inside line as we go through the underpass. They go through side by side. Not a place you want to be challenging each other. And actually, Matteo does indeed call it a day. A little bit out of shape, though, goes McLaren. So Matteo might get a little bit of a better drive. Let's take a look on board with him now. Farming in front. No battery left for the Ferrari. We've got a Kick Sauber in close company as well. Looking to make a move is Gamer on the inside. Not a lot of battery left on some of these guys at the minute. They've been utilising a lot of battery to try and get themselves into position. Here we go then, into turn number 1. Does Gamer get the move done this time? There's a slow McLaren out in front of him, which halts his progress. And he's still side by side with Matteo. These two really tussling and fighting it out. And Matteo just drops off the back as Gamer does try and attack the McLaren of Gabop. Out in front, Dreams all over that rear spoiler of the Williams on the older tyres. Only slightly older though. Freddie Rozelle on the fresher rubber here. Might see the Aston Martin look to make some kind of move. Can defend with DRS down here, but have you got enough battery? No, the flashing light, and there's the Williams. Oh, that could have been a proper problem there as OTC Dreams trying to get that move done. Doesn't seem as though he's got quite enough. And who's that? That's the Alpine of Rich Sebi getting amongst it. Just reminding Freddie Rozelle that he is there. Rich Sebi not to be denied, making sure he lets somebody know. That looked like somebody lost a little bit of pace there. Might have been Raceboy. He might find himself under pressure from Half. Here comes Half then. Gets the job done. Very little battery though for the Mercedes. He's going to have to farm that bad boy up quite substantially. Freddie and OTC Dreams trying to get this job done. Will Freddie get the job done? He does. Out and relinquished and released into P3. Freddie, we might see him actually go for a move to get himself up into P2 here at turn 1. Later on the brakes. Can he go all the way around the outside at turn 1? He can get the job done. And that's Freddie, Aston Martin Championship leader, closing in on somebody with 10 laps more in terms of wear on those tyres. City of R is within his sights now. That looked a little bit close for comfort for Freddie when it comes to potential track limit warnings as well. But this should be a job done pretty easy, depending upon what that setup is. To look at the overspeed on the Aston Martin. We'll see him dive to the inside. There he goes. Gets the job done, does he? We'll see. We'll see. Because City of R is going to try and hold the inside at the long right-hand curve. And there he goes, look. But it will be Freddie that holds the advantage going on the left-handers through the underpass, through the chicane. And he takes the lead of the race once more. Lap 18 of 29, well into the second half of this Tier 2 round number 4 race. Moose Racing League, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Miami. We are at Miami, and we've had one heck of a race so far. Be good to get you on board with us. 22 you're watching right now. Go and tell your mum, your dad, your cat, your dog, your auntie, your uncle, and anybody else watching that it's Moose Racing Night, and Sundays is the one. Into the pit lane comes Edge, trying to get rid of those 12-lap-old hard tyres. Or does he have damage? Let's just check in with the Williams man. He might have a little bit of damage. Let's just double check. It seems quite early to get rid of the tyres. He hasn't got damage. No damage, just fresh hards? Yeah, fresh hard tyres for him. Captain Redbeard's thrown some soft tyres on. He's just trying to get himself back into the mix. But out in front, Freddie Rizal streaking ahead. He's looking to check out right now. City of R will not be able to get any DRS. He won't be able to get DRS. So he's going to have Gamer and Dreams for company pretty shortly, I would think. If not here, certainly down that long back straight from turn 16 down towards turn 17. Off camber we go again, look. Look at the way the angle is on these turns. Sloping away from the turn, not into the turn. And let's just jump on board with Gamer, because Gamer and OTC Dreams should make hay while the sun shines and get themselves past City of R in that Williams on this long straight. OTC Dreams gets it done pretty easily, does he? But actually an early braking moment from him means it's going to be a little bit more of a tussle for Gamer. He is on the inside, and yeah, into the pit lane comes City of R. 16-lap-old hards, wants to get rid of those. Mateo's pulled right up, and we do have yellow flags waving somewhere. That is Gwenfro round. Gwenfro round at turn number 17, 18, facing completely the wrong direction. Waits all the way. Well done, Gwenfro, for waiting all the way through there. Tyres are probably cooked, and if they weren't, they are now. Freddie Rizal 2.2 seconds out in front of OTC Dreams. Mateo on those tyres gets in front of Gamer. Mateo versus Gamer could be a very, very interesting and intriguing tussle. It will be Gamer this time that has DRS. And actually they've caught right up to the back of Dreams as well. So Mateo's going to have DRS, and he'll get himself out in front of the Horseman. Gamer will have to wait. Likely to see quite a lot of changing of positions. Doesn't have to worry too much behind him at the moment. Gamer can focus his attention on these two cars out in front. 2/3 of the way through this Grand Prix. Just have a jump on board with OTC Dreams. Lost a bit of time actually there. And here comes Gamer. Side by side they will go. OTC Dreams just lifts ever so slightly. Neither of them get past Mateo. Hughes Williams are having themselves a weekend. Well, Edge and City of R currently down in 14 and 15. Freddie Rizal looks like he is well on his way to another race win here at Miami then, lap 21 of 29. Can these guys behind work together to try and haul that gap in? 2.7 seconds. Let's just take a quick look at the leader gap then. Pit lane for Captain Redbeard again. 52 seconds covers the field. Gamer just unable to have any impact there as 3.2 seconds the gap between Matteo and Freddie. So interesting look for us there. Should be job done on this particular occasion. We've stopped deploying ERS in the Ferrari and we'll just about manage maybe to get up the inside. Yeah, up the inside goes Gamer then. So Gamer and Matteo need to be working smart, need to work together then to try and close this gap down as Freddie Rizal sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:29.2. Racing for position these two, but racing to try and catch the leader as well, as he is just streaking ahead. 4.2 seconds, Freddie. Absolutely flying down the road. Sebi's decision that got questioned by Sketchy Bull earlier on. We can see that he's at 1.9, nearly 2 seconds off the back of Harv in that Mercedes. City of R and Lethal Pete exchanging positions. City of R on the much faster, softer compounded tyre. Certainly when it's only 2 laps old. Pete will be in DRS though, so he'll manage to get a hopefully in DRS. Not be. To be fair, let's just jump on board with Edge. They crossed that line. No, he missed DRS. That's going to allow Edge to make a move all the way down the outside. He's going to catch up with his teammate as well pretty quickly. Is Pete going to squeeze down the inside? No, he isn't. So Pete maintains his P14. 12 and 13 for the two Williams boys. They're 3.5 seconds off the back of Mist, who's going to have DRS on Dimey. Dimey 3.8 seconds off the back. Let's just jump on with Mist. Can he close that gap right down? He's not closing that gap at all. That gap is getting bigger, even with the rear wing open. So maybe Mist has got a slightly higher downforce setup on. The rain never arrived, did it, ladies and gents, either? The rain never arrived. Alex Carew getting right into it here, by the way, with Raceboy and Rich Sebi. Rich Sebi's dropped a position down to P8. We thought he was comfortable for the moment in time, but pressure tyres around him mean that he's been swallowed up slowly but surely. 4.4 seconds the gap out in front then. Freddie, Rizal and Matteo. Same as last week, first and second. Game, a good result from him. He'll be waiting for those medium tyres to drop off on that Ferrari so he can get the job done, and Dreams will just try and hang on the back of that leading, or the chasing duet, should we say, as Raceboy loses. Oh, hard on the brakes. Oh, contact there. That is a mistake, I believe, from Raceboy. That would, did we see a bit of a lunge there? Might have seen some part of the car drop off, and I'm not too sure whose it was. Let's just have a quick look to see if all the parts of cars are where they should be. We'll get a better angle on it here. Now, all the parts are where the parts should be, I believe. And Alex Carew will go through. 3 seconds for D-Master. Oh! Alex Carew late on the brakes, catches the back of the Alpine, but no harm, no foul. Into the pits goes Sebi on those 17-lap-old tyres. No penalty for him. Into the pits also Raceboy on 10-lap-old hard tyres. Doesn't fancy the hard tyres. Yellow flags, yellow flags. That looks like it's D-Master, is it? Yeah, D-Master's gone round again, and he's going to get lapped by Freddie Rizal. 2-lap-old soft tyres, obviously. Surely they're warm. So just a mistake from the Red Bull man. Oh! On board with Grenfo just in time. see him try and recover. However, that was a problem with somebody else's. D-Master dives. No, D-Master didn't dive into the pits. D-Master has crashed his car. Where's he crashed? He's crashed on the underpass. He's crashed on the underpass. So safety car, full safety car. Gwenfro picks up a full speeding drive-through penalty, as does Gabop as well. That is catastrophic for both Gabop and Mateo as well. Mateo picking up a drive-through. Gwenfro picking up a drive-through. Gabop. But Mateo in the Ferrari gets the drive-through penalty. Big mistake from somebody who'd raced so well tonight on those slightly older tyres. He wants to be careful as he goes into the pit lane now. What tyres have we put on? Mateo stuck the hard tyres on. City of Art doesn't pit on the 5-lap hold meet, and Edge doesn't pit on the 6-lap hold. Penalty. Sebi, 10 seconds for penalty for speeding. 10-second penalty for Sebi for speeding in the pit lane. That's ruined his race as well. And a whole host of mistakes. These aren't mistakes that are going to help team principals gain points here in Tier 2. So a whole host of different penalties. 10 seconds for Sebi. Drive-throughs galore as well. 3 drivers picking up the drive-throughs. Daimi gets rid of his 10-second penalty, so he'll be happy with that. And we might see Rich Sebi come in again at the end of this lap to get rid of that 10-second penalty. But Mateo, the Ferrari pit wall will be beside themselves here. 10-second, drive-through penalty. It's going to take him, Gabop, and Gwenfro all the way to the rear of the field. Gwenfro's already at the rear of the field, but oh, there it is. That's a good shot of the stadium. Not many laps left remaining, of course. Soft tyres are all out on, I'd say the majority of the cars. I'd say half the field's on the soft tyre. The other half are on a mix. So we've got 8 guys on a mixture of hard and mediums. And we've got 9 guys now on the soft tyre. So yeah, just about the majority of the field choosing the soft tyre. Gamer, Dreams and Half will be chomping at the bit. No penalties for those 3. Knowing that Mateo will dive into the pit lane. Edge with a penalty and on hard tyres. And City of R. There are podiums in the offing if you're Gamer, Dreams and Half. Just a level of concentration and focus. And of course, as we always say, a bit of composure here. Yeah, good question, Cinnamon. No idea, my friend. A little bit of lack, due care and attention, I think, from those guys out in front. We may well get racing again presently. Now we're about to find out. We do have Rich Sebi. Obviously, he's dived in to get rid of that 10-second penalty. We'll have to wait and see what happens when he crosses that Sector 3 line. We might find ourselves with a late safety car. Call in? Are we going to find a late safety car call in? No, we are not. It would appear we're going to go around again. So we'll get racing on lap 28. So we'll be lap 28 and 29. What give now for a little bit of rain? Can we do our rain dance and get a little bit of rain for the final 2 laps of this Miami Grand Prix? Lap 27 will be under safety car conditions. Lap 28, we will be going green and we will be racing. We'll have DRS available for the last lap of the race, lap number 29. We are all set for a barnstorming finish. Gamer, Dreams and Half, soft compound test, they will be wanting to get themselves up on lap 28, up and past the 2 Williams cars if possible. And of course the Ferrari, let's not forget about him. But the soft tyre will be a fast tyre right now. Let's take a quick look. There it is, the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium. Beautiful picture. Still a bit of cloud in the air, as you can see. Doesn't look like the rain's going to fall. So we've even got a little bit of shadow on the track as well. So it seems like the sun is making a final appearance. And there it is, the sun. Good Lord. Lord help us, please. We'll change that camera angle. Yeah, we don't like that camera angle. We don't like the flashing sun. I think what we'll do is, on the safety car restart, I think we'll go with Gamer. Gamer's shown some pretty good pace. A former champion here, of course. Soon we'll have that notification, and there it is. Safety car will come in this lap. Leaves himself a little gap so he can build some heat into these tyres. Going up alongside the Ferrari there. Doesn't go past. When will Freddie press the button? Trying to get a little bit of heat finally into those tyres himself as well. Clear favourite for this race now. Yeah, he just went a little bit earlier. He did go a little bit early. There goes Matteo for his drive-through. So this is where Gamer, Dreams and Half can try and close up and get past these 2 Williams. Little nudge there from Kick Sauber on Williams. And Freddie has checked out early doors. Here comes Gamer though. Can Gamer, burning some battery, get himself up alongside and through? He does get himself up alongside and through. Great move there from the Kick Sauber man. Bravery. Bravery to the extreme. But needs to get himself past City of R. And hope that he can try and close what is now a 2-second gap on the final lap of the race. I can't see it myself. As Dreams now gets himself through as well. But Gamer is the car that's going to be chasing down. Will get himself up. No doubt. This is where Freddie will pull time now. Old medium tyres on the Williams of City of R. That's going to allow Freddie just to gain a little bit of an advantage on his fresh soft tyres. Here goes Gamer. Will City of R. 3 seconds it is for Dimey. Not got the force. Later on the brakes though. 10-second penalty corner cutting for Captain Redbeard. OTC Dreams, he's going to follow Gamer through the gap. Freddie Rizal, fastest lap of the race, 127.6, 3.7 second gap then. It's a tussle for the podium. Gamer, Dreams, City of R looking to challenge. Great view from the rear wing of the Kick Sauber then. Kick Sauber, Haas, Williams, and let's not forget about the Mercedes of Half loitering in the background. Is he going to be able to get himself up there? Or is he too far back on this, the final lap of the race? Looks to be too far back. Captain Redbeard retires it in the pit lane. Unfortunate for him, Gwenfro in the pits as well, just coming out right now. Here comes Dreams then. Dreams is going to have DRS, is he? Let's have a look at Dreams. There is no wing wide open. There is no DRS. Maybe there's DRS on the long back straight. City of R still in contention. Don't say he's not there yet. Is Gamer going to have a podium stolen off him by DRS down this long back straight? He's got no battery left either. City of R, not much battery. Let's have a look what's going to happen down towards this turn number 17. Dreams will go through. Gamer up alongside him though. Can Gamer make this work? It's Gamer and Dreams. Freddie crosses the line to win the race. Dreams in second. Gamer third. City of R is going to cross the line in fourth. Fifth is half. Sixth, Alex Carew. Seventh, Edge. Good result for him. I'm a Bum 8th, Miss 9th, Mr. Lethal Peak 10th, Raceboy 11th, Rich Sebi down in 12th, 13th for Diamond Mateo after that drive-through penalty, and unsurprisingly 14th, 15th and 16th, the three guys that had to suffer the drive-through penalties. Absolutely B-dunk. North Korean tier strikes yet again. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we'll see them making a move onto the podium. It's Freddie Rozelle, yet again, another race winner up onto the podium. Should have muted all the drivers. Gwenfro leaves the session, but it's, on the top step. It is the Aston Martin of Freddie Rozelle. OTC Dreams in P2. And then Gamer in the Kick Sauber in P3. Fantastic race. What a race filled with drama, filled with issues for some people. Drive-throughs, penalties galore. But wow, yeah, what a race we've had tonight in tier number 2. Driver of the day is Dreams. Great stuff for him. Freddie Rozelle, fastest lap and race winner. Most overtakes coming from Rich Sebi. And the cleanest driver of the night was Alex Carew. Go. Let's get to the results then. Freddie Rozelle takes the race win. Dreams second. Third is the Kick Sauber of Gamer. Williams, City of R fourth. Fifth, it's Harv in the Merc with Haas. Alex Carew in sixth. Seventh is Edge in the Williams. I'm a Bum in the V-Carb in eighth. Ninth, it's Missed in the Alpine with the Ferrari of Mr. Lethal Pete in 10th. Raceboy in 11th. 12th is the Alpine. 13th, Mateo. 14th, Gabot. 15th, Gwenfro. Dimey, Captain Redbeard, Master OG, and Ardell are our DNFs for tonight. Good Lord. Burr and his teammate almost killing each other again. Was pure cinema. That's what we get here, quite frankly. That is what we get here. Shanked again. That's what we get here in tier number 2. We get drama, we get cinema, we get intrigue. And as I always say, when the lights go out, it's always showtime. Right, we'll have to wait and see if we've got anybody who wants to dive in for an interview. See how we get on. Let's have a quick see who we've got. Always some. It's always nice seeing some chat. I don't see anybody in an interview room. I mean, I'm not even in a commentary box, so I'll join a commentary box. Just see if anybody fancies coming in. If everyone fancies coming through for an interview, please feel free to do so. I'm here all night. Well, I'm not here all night. I'm here for about the next 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I earned some race rewards then. That was quite nice of them. Doesn't look like we've got any interviews, guys. Nobody coming through. Nobody coming through for the interview. But that's okay. Listen, tier number 1 is about to get going. They are going live right about now. It is, of course, our good friend, Mr. Punju. So please, go and enjoy Punju. Go and enjoy Punju and his stream of tier 1. Just click on the Moose Racing League thing down there, or you can wait until I've stopped this stream, and that will take you automatically through when Punju starts to stream. Thank you once again for tuning in. We couldn't do it without you, our viewers, and of course the drivers. Thank you so much to everybody involved in putting this production together. Punju for creating the thumbnails, Demog for doing all the making sure all the streams were up and ready to go for us, the streamers, to just kind of click go and be there. Thank you so much to all the stewards and everybody who will look at all these incidents that we've had tonight as well. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, Freddie, there were, but I was waiting for people. If you want an interview, I mean, I'm more than welcome to do one, but I'm just about to press the stop button. Up to you, my friend. Let me know in 5 seconds. Yeah, go on, Freddie. Dive in, Freddie. Dive into the comms box. Or wherever you can dive into. I don't even know where you can dive into. Oh, you're in general VC. Right, let me bring you through to commentary box B. I'll bring you in alongside me, Freddie. Are you there, sir?
I am.
You are. Excellent news. Excellent news. Right, bear with me. Because we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We are going to get your lovely Aramco Aston Martin up on screen while we do the interview. So, Freddie, another race win, my friend. Congratulations. Well done. It seemed like you'd done a lot of the work early doors, and then, of course, we had the first safety car, which really did throw a spanner in the works. But you worked real hard and managed to work your way back through the crowd, and then we had the second safety car. Just talk to me about your race tonight, because what looked like an easy race on paper at the start, alongside you and Matteo, just seemed to get that little bit more touchy and a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think first stint was like, I don't know, it was alright. It was, I didn't get pole, which I wanted, but I think my aim for this week was a podium, so I think I overachieved myself this week with a 5-second gap to P2. I think Matteo got unlucky. I think with the drive through, the outcomes of the pit stops during the safety cars, where I came out of ahead of drivers have already got a lot more tyre wear, which he didn't, so I had that advantage.
Yeah, you really made that pay, didn't you? Getting out in front of City of R and a couple of the other guys on slightly older tyres and harder compound tyres really gave you the advantage, didn't it? And you really made that pay on the first lap, 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was. I thought the pace was okay. It was just not what I actually expected. I thought I could have gone a little bit faster each lap.
Yeah.
But obviously happy with the win.
No, absolutely. I'm sure you are. Especially when we spoke last week, you said Miami wasn't one of your favourite tracks, and that you were you were happy just to potentially get a podium. So yeah, to take
for me, it's a difficult track. It's just the walls are so narrow now since the last few times. F124, especially at that small chicane, that's where quite a few people clipped it, spun around, or got DNF'd.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough old track. I absolutely concur on that one. It's not one of my favourites either. Next week, we head off. We're back in Europe next week. So next week is Spa-Francorchamps.
Oh, God.
Grand Prix. So how do you like that?
Oh, just don't rain, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, well, we do tend to see quite a bit of rain whenever we race at Belgium. We managed to avoid the rain in Tier 2 tonight. They had the rain in Tier 3. It looked like it was going to rain for the majority of the race tonight, to be fair. It was very dark.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with weather conditions. I double-checked this time since last week. I did not know there was rain coming in. But, it said it was sunny, but it was gloomy, cloudy.
Yeah, it was definitely not sunny.
Not good to look at.
No, exactly. Well, congratulations on your race win again, Freddie. Strengthening your position in this Tier 2 championship now by another 25 points. That gets you onto 90 points. I think Dreams may well have moved himself up into P2 in the title race now with that with some of the results that we were seeing before. I'm just going to check on the standings actually. Yeah, Dreams is in second place anyway, I believe. So Dreams has managed to get himself up into P2 behind you again tonight. So yeah, interesting next week, and of course, long way to go in terms of the championship anyway, because we're not even halfway yet. Race number 4 tonight. 6 races will be halfway. 6th race is Hungary. Still on course for a championship.
I hope so. I mean, I can't really bottle it now. I think this season's definitely the one for me. After bottling it the last few seasons, so I think just keep the head down. Try and get a seat, a full-time seat, so no one can really complain that I'm in this tier. And yeah, just aim for P1 position. Hopefully get that banner in the Discord.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Well, listen, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you next week at Belgium. Good luck. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week. Go and watch Tier 1. That's about to start.
I will. Thank you for the broadcast.
Always a pleasure, my friend. You take care. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Freddie. And like I said to you all, thank you so much for tuning in. Go and check out tier number 1. That will be our good friend Punju on that broadcast. And he may well have somebody beside him tonight. I'm not sure. But go check it out. Them's the quick guys. Let's see what they can pull down tonight at Miami. You take care. Have a great one. And we'll see you next week in Belgium.